Elizabeth Blackwell. Waliyah here, reporting to tell you about the life of the first woman doctor, Elizabeth Blackwell. We're interested in this person because we both admire her stubborn and rebellious personality. She didn't give up her dream to become a doctor, even after she was criticized by many people and was rejected by multiple medical schools. And here's the story of how she came through her obstacles and changed the history of women's rights forever. Before women had many of their rights today, there were many famous women in the old days that had fought for women's rights from 1848 to 1920. One of those famous women that fought for rights were Elizabeth Blackwell. She was the first woman to earn a medical degree in the United States. Elizabeth Blackwell was born on February 3, 1821 in Bristol, England, and passed away on May 31, 1910 in Hastings, England. Her parents were Samuel and Hannah Blackwell. She grew up in Bristol, England, with her 4 brothers and sisters, Henry, George, John, Samuel, Anna, Marion, Emily, and Sarah Ellen Blackwell. When business became hard for the Blackwells, Samuel Blackwell decided to move his family to the United States, but he died shortly afterwards. Later, Elizabeth's mother opened up a school and had Elizabeth and Emily teach there as teachers. But because of racial issues in school, Elizabeth quit her job as a teacher, and at the end of the year, shortly afterwards, one of her friends complained to her one day about wanting a female doctor because it would have saved her a great deal of embarrassment when she was getting her body examined. This got Elizabeth thinking, and before long she had embodied the dreams of wanting to become a doctor, not only for herself, but for all women out there. Although Elizabeth tried to apply to medical schools to learn medicine, all the schools denied her entrance. Later, she moved to North Carolina to learn medicine from a man named Dr. John Dickinson while teaching school, and so then her career as a doctor began to unfold. After Elizabeth had finished her studies with Dr. Dickinson, she went ahead and applied to medical schools such as Harvard, Yale, and Boydman, but all of them denied her admission because she was a woman. Finally, she was accepted to Geneva College in New York, but it was said that her admission was meant as a joke, so when they asked her to leave, she wouldn't. Life was hard at Geneva, but it was mainly because a lot of people there that believed women were not fit to be doctors treated her with sheer disgust. The students shunned her as an outcast, and the teachers wouldn't let her come to meetings. But eventually, on January 11, 1849, Elizabeth graduated medical school and earned her medical degree. With that, she became the first woman ever in the United States to earn a medical degree.
After college, Elizabeth went to apply for jobs at hospitals with a dream of becoming a surgeon, but the hospitals banned her from practicing in the school. Later, she decided to move to Paris in France to train at La Maternite in hope of furthering her medical studies. Unfortunately, while studying in Paris, she contracted a terrible eye disease called purulent ophthalmic that caused one of her eyes to be replaced with a glass eye. The eye disease forced Elizabeth to give up her dream to become a surgeon, but she continued learning medicine. In 1851, Elizabeth returned back to New York, but still faced prejudice against female doctors in the medical profession. On May 1857, Elizabeth, along with her sister Emily and Dr. Mari Zakusa, founded the New York Infirmary for Indigenous Women and Children. During Elizabeth's adulthood, she did not get married, but she did adopt an Irish orphan named Catherine Berry in 1856. In 1861, during the Civil War after Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States, Elizabeth helped to train many women to become nurses to aid injured soldiers on the battlefield. It was a tough job, but she went through with it, and with her help and a group of nurses, it saved many soldiers and helped Elizabeth gain a renowned reputation throughout the United States. With that reputation, in 1868, Elizabeth was able to establish a women's medical college to train women in medicine, physician, and other medical areas. In 1869, Elizabeth returned back to her homeland, England. There, she taught at the London School of Medicine for Women and became the first female physician and doctor of the United Kingdom Medical Register. Then from 1875 to 1907, she became a professor of gynecology at the London School for Women. Afterwards, Elizabeth worked as a professor for the rest of her working life. One day, Elizabeth had a severe fall that injured one of her legs. Shortly after, she died on May 31, 1910, and was buried in her homeland in Hastings, England. She was 89 years old when she died, and although the cause of her death was uncertain, many believe she died of heart stroke. Even though Elizabeth had died, she left behind a strong impression that women can also do things that men are capable of, such as becoming a doctor. Her actions encouraged more than 7,000 women to become doctors in the United States alone. And that's the end of the history of Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman doctor.